There may be low youth voters turnout in the general election. Study says, ahead of the 2019 general election stated for Saturday 16th February and Saturday 2nd March, the study has predicted a low youth voters turnout in the forthcoming elections. The study, titled Role of Youth-Led Organizations in Peaceful Elections and Political Participation of Young People, was conducted as part of the UNESCO Youth Civic Engagement Initiative. The study was implemented in Lagos State by One African Child Foundation for Learning, in Oyo and Osun States by Building Nations Initiative, and in Kwara and Ekiti States by Women and Youth Development Initiative. A total of 166 youth-led organizations were identified by respondents to be actively involved in the promoting political participations among young people and peaceful elections. The study targeted young people between ages 14 to 45 in the study areas who are members, staff, volunteers, and beneficiaries of programs organized by youth-led organizations. 789 respondents participated in the survey, an approximate of 5 young persons per youth-led organization. Among these organizations identified by respondents include Junior Chambers International (JCI), AISEC, All Nigeria, United Nations Students Association Announcer, Yali Network, Youth Aid Development Foundation, among many others. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has reported that young people constitute the majority of the registered voters, hence they are key determinants of the winners of 2019 election. Based on age distribution, young people between ages 18 and 35 years constitute the highest number of registered voters, with 51.11%, which is 42,938,458 voters of our 84 million registered voters. Furthermore, according to occupation distribution, 26.57% of registered voters are students who are most likely young people. The youth voting power offers young people the opportunity to maximize their demographics towards promoting their inclusive and active participation in the political life. However, according to the report, analysis of political participation level among young people revealed a progressive decline in the level of participation of respondents in political life. While majority 71.1% of the respondents had participated in one civic education or political-based seminar from one youth organization or the other, the sensitization from such programs still remains to translate to full actions with respect to variables of political participations measured. For example, while over half, 68.8% of the study respondents reported having permanent voters card, lower proportion, 51.4%, reported ever going to vote during elections. Again, this study shows that while over 80% of respondents hold the perception to vote whether one believes the vote will count or not, only about 68% of respondents reported to currently have a permanent voters card, and about 50% had previously voted in an election. This is a pointer to the fact that while perceptions to political participation may be changing and becoming more favorable, there may be need to provide very significant cues to action for corresponding behavior that will result into active political participation of young people. Also, this study shows that for every 3 males who are politically active, only 1 female is politically active. In order of most challenging to least challenging, respondents listed the belief that elections can never be fair, mistrust for political leaders, lack of proximity to polling units where a young person registered, and ASU strike as challenges to youth voters' turnout in forthcoming elections. The study also reveals that 31.2% of the respondents who do not possess a voter's card were unable to participate in the voter registration exercise owing to time constraints and very busy schedules as career professionals and students. Technical challenges on the part of INEC staff, disorderliness, long queues, and distance to PVC registration centers were also identified as reasons for not participating in the voters registration exercise. On perception of young people to peaceful elections, a greater proportion of respondents in the study had positive perceptions towards peaceful election and the prevention of election violence. However, a little proportion of respondents still held negative perceptions. For instance, about 17% of respondents still favor the idea of godfatherism in elections in Nigeria, which previous studies has reported as one of the causes of election violence in some parts of Nigeria. This is thus a call to youth-led organizations already working around sensitizing on peaceful elections and political participation to intensify their efforts in promoting peace, as the mischievous acts of these seemingly few respondents who still hold a favorable disposition towards election violence would be far-reaching in causing political instability and prevention of peaceful elections.